crushing bottle death, broken limbs and the screaming siren. Body count straight apart from the dead, killing light in a well of darkness. Baseball is a violent zone, so it's such a madness. Legacy of the thoroughborn.
Yeah, so the UK leg went ahead, which is fantastic. We played, there's a chain of venues in the UK called the O2. They do arenas and they got clubs and things. Absolutely amazing. So, we did a tour of those of the UK. Fantastic tour. Recorded a new live video for a DVD release, which is going to be out next year. We went to South America with Artillery back in January, which seemed to work really well. Two old school thrash bands, but both very different ends of the scale. Miles apart in terms of music, nothing like each other, which works for the fans. I mean, they get two totally unique sounding bands together rather than two bands that go out sounding exactly the same. And they're quite melodic as well as a bit more aggressive. So it works great. The package is great. They're great guys. The problem with this boys is one of those things that ongoing, you know. It's just learning to manage it, I guess. Hence, they've got lots of specialist appointments. It is kind of time in October, November. So it is a thing I believe gets better over the years, you know. But as I said, it's just trying to manage the situation and learning, or sort of speaking with people and specialists and how to deal with it and cope with it. You know? So it just fell in an unfortunate time when we're on tour. So I've been friends with Neil for 8 years, maybe. We played a festival in Sweden. We got on really well with him. I love his voice. So when the situation arose, we just kind of drew up a short list of possible people to fill in, you know. And we asked a fair few guys, including Neil. And the response we got was really quite heartwarming. You know, a lot of great singers we asked, and it's like, wow, you really want us to come and sing for Onslaught? Yeah. But there was a lot of people unavailable. Can't do it for this reason. Can't do it. This time of year is always traditionally a heavy touring period or recording period. But fortunately, Neil was free. So hence, here he is with us now.
Master of the perfect statistically insane. Eagle let the kick to hell and brings the kill again. An homicidal legacy of passion for our day. The fire to the living to create.
Yeah, I mean that was the intention. We every album we write, we always try to obviously improve on the last product. I'm not happy to just put out a kind of that's a good Onslaught album. I want to better the last one, you know, make it improve and take it to new levels. And having Mike Horan in the band now allowed us to create a much more aggressive sounding album and a much more technical album in what we've made in the past. Just because of the way he plays, he's just such a ferocious drummer. And it opened a lot of doors for things. There was kind of no limits to us anymore on what we could do. So we kind of utilised his ability to expand on our songs.
Actually, that was going to be my next question about Mike. I know Steve has left the band. Steve has been very vocal about leaving the band. Do you have any comment on Steve at all, or
no?
Fair comment.
But no, I mean, most of these songs are written kind of without Mike's involvement in the beginning. He sort of came in and put his touches to it after. And then we adapted things. But this album, I'm really looking forward to sitting down with him and writing from day one with his actual drum patterns. Some of the stuff he was coming up, we were talking about it, soundcheck the other day, and it was like incredible. I can't wait to really start doing some stuff with this. I think it's going to take it to another level again. It's going to be even more aggressive if we can do that.
Any idea when you plan on recording, or?
Not yet. I mean, I've got a skeleton for the album in terms of song titles and ideas and some riffs and some vocal parts, etc. But nothing concrete put together piece by piece yet. Which, I mean, we're still. I mean, this album's only been out just over a year, and we like to tour a lot. So I guess we still got another 9 months possible touring on this album. So I think we're kind of looking at shows. We're being offered stuff up till September next year. Which I'm guess we use as a cut-off point then and really knuckle down. I mean, we were start in January probably, but that would be the cut-off point September, and we say, look, this is dedicate writing for 3 months.
Okay. Is there any like current thrash bands or bands or up and coming bands that you really admire, like say in the UK scene? I know there's like Evil, which
yeah, I mean there's a lot of good young bands out there, man, but I find it kind of difficult because they just seem to tread a path that's already been tread for 20, 30 years. You know, there's some really talented guys out there, and I think if they tried to expand their horizons a little more instead of trying to emulate or play what have been done by the likes of us, Testament, Exodus, Artillery,
right,
and Overkill, I think they would maybe find life a little bit easier for them to move on. You know? It's a struggle. It's got to be hard for them, especially when all these bands are around. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of good bands out there. Especially there's a lot of good bands in Bristol where I came from. But they just need that break. It's tough. So I think you need something a little bit individual and unique these days to kind of set you aside from the rest of the field.
Right.
The next album's going to be kind of critical, I think. So as I said, I'd never want to release a substandard album. It was not as good or better than the last one, you know. So we've set ourselves a real challenge with the next album. It's going to be tough. But I'm pretty confident, especially if Mike has a big involvement with writing, I think it will take us to another level on that. But then we have to see where it goes from there. You know, you never know. But I mean, it's obviously definitely one more album for the band, that's for sure.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, since 6 has been released, we've noticed an incredible upturn of press, positivity surrounding the band. The press and the fans have been fantastic, receptive to the album. You know, and it showed in European shows and UK shows that the audiences are going up and our exposure's going up. So it'd be interesting to see what the next album does for us.
Okay.
Free man!